Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Stampin' Chat Live. I'm Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all around the world. Tonight we're going to have some fun because I am going to try a brand new technique to me, and I saw this technique on a very, very creative YouTuber's channel, and her name is Natasha Foote, and she is amazing. Now, I've known Natasha for a little while. She and I have chatted a few times through private messaging. She's done a little bit of guest design team work for us in the past, but Natasha kind of has her own channel and she does her own thing. She's not like attached to different design teams or anything like that. And she just comes up with all of these creative ideas and creative techniques. And I just adore her. She is amazing. She's just the nicest girl. So if you haven't had a chance to check out Natasha's video on this technique, I've linked it in the description underneath the video here at YouTube and also in the description on Facebook. And you can check out her video and see how she does it. And then what I'm going to do, because I am only inspired by her, I'm not going to copy her exactly. I'm going to use parts of the technique, I mean the main part of the technique where you're actually ripping and masking. And I'm going to do my own little twist on it. So we'll see how that works out. But make sure you subscribe to Natasha's channel because she is filled with inspiration. She's got tons of videos over there, and she's constantly posting. She must do 2 or 3 videos. It seems like she's doing videos all the time. So she's a very hard worker and very, very talented. Well, it is great to see all of you. Before we get started on tonight's technique, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey.
The Crafter Dinner Crowd. Hey, I got to show you a post before we
okay.
Go. This is from Helen.
Helen, your Tom is very pretty. Oh, Helen, we knew what you meant. You meant my top is very pretty, but also my Tom is very
I don't know.
Tom is taking that as the biggest compliment, Helen. So
that's right.
Your typo actually made his night. Oh, my goodness.
So we're doing
cute.
the ripped masking technique. Is that like we're going in the gym? This is like the buff masking?
We're going to be ripped.
Jacked?
Yeah. No, it's not exactly
swole.
like No, no, no. This is completely different than that. There's no workout involved. Maybe a little bit with the ripping, but that's about it.
Okay.
Well, do you have a word of the day for everybody later?
I have a word of the day.
All right. Well, we will be back for that for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't match. What happened?
I
Are
don't
we
know.
throwing it? Are we just like having fun today?
You're too pretty tonight.
See? Going off on my own.
That's right. You just didn't pay attention to me today to figure out what to wear, I guess.
Yeah, we're in our own worlds, aren't we? Okay.
We are. We're in parallel universes.
Well, we'll see how this goes.
All right, sounds good. All right, now, in Natasha's video, she used a product by scrapbook.com called Mint Tape. I'm going to use Gina K Designs Masking Magic. She does say in her video that you can use Masking Magic, you can use Post-it notes, you can use Mint Tape, Pixie Tape, whatever you have, you can use. And I will say the same thing. Whatever you have in your collection, you can use. But I'm going to use Masking Magic because I'm going to do something a little bit different than Natasha did. I'm going to create, instead of, she did a torn border around the perimeter, which looks beautiful. To make mine a little different, I'm going to keep my perimeter very, very straight. So, to start, I'm going to take a piece of cardstock. Now, this cardstock was cut out with Master Layouts 2, and you can see the stitching around the outside. So, I'm going to use Master Layouts 2 for mine. And I'm going to put this on my sticky mat because we're going to be doing some ink blending. No, next time Tom will probably have the blue shirt. Yeah, he'll probably have the blue shirt and I'll have the pink shirt. Okay, so I'm going to start with some Masking Magic strips for this. And I am going to, let's see, I have a brand new pack here because I was completely out of 1/4-inch strips and I had lots of other strips because I was using them for a class, but I am going to use the 1/4-inch strips here because I want to bring everything in a little bit. I don't want to just go real close to the edge. I want to have a nice white border going around. Oh, and a big shout out and hello to Brianne Loveland. I see you, Brianne. Thank you for being here again and for helping us like you always do. Okay, so Brianne will be linking anything that I used tonight to help you guys find it. Now, I'll tell you, you guys really wiped us out for our sale over the weekend. So a lot of stuff is out of stock. But if there is anything that you want, you could just put yourself on the notify me list because we have tons of orders in and lots of things should be rolling in soon. And you'll get an email if there's anything that you're waiting for. All right, now I am doing 1/4-inch Masking Magic strips around the perimeter of this just to cover the edges so that I have a little bit of a white border. And then we're going to get into the ripping process. So I know a ton of you, I saw when I talked about Natasha and saying that I was going to be, well, I'm inspired by her tonight. Lots of you said, oh, I love Natasha. I watch Natasha. So how many of you out there watching tonight are already subscribed to Natasha's channel? I bet it's a lot of you. She's amazing. Okay. So I'm trying to decide if I should have gone a little bit bigger with my border. I am going to look at the 1/2-inch strips here and just see how much of a border that would give me. It's going to... What?
You got a shout out from Vivian.
From Vivian! Vivi! Hey, Viv! Viv is... Well, she's like... I'm going to say that Vivian is... I'm going to say she's my grandniece. How's that? She is Brian's niece, and Rena and Brian are getting married, so she's Rena's niece, and so that kind of puts me in the family. So I'm going to call her my grandniece. Hi, Vivian. That must mean Whitney's watching, or her Lola's watching. Maybe Suzette is watching. I love the Strack family. We're so blessed by that family. They are so wonderful. All right, so I'm already starting off with a bang, Natasha. If you're out there watching or you're watching this later, I'm already deciding to do something different. Okay, I'm going to do 1/2" masking magic strips because I want a bigger border because I am going to be using silhouette stamps. And that's another little change from what Natasha did. She used a beautiful line art image that she did some Copic coloring on. She's very good at that. I am not quite the Copic colorer, although I did buy some Olo markers. I bought a set of them and a few extras, and I am learning those. I'm trying to learn those because those are more readily available, and I think they're a little bit more economical for some of my friends out there that are looking at alcohol markers. Okay, so let's see. There we go. I just put my, did you see how I just put myself right in the Strack family, Tom?
Why not?
Why not, right? Okay, now, what Natasha did is she did straight lines going down her card with this technique. So I'm going to do my first card in that same way. So what I'm doing here is I'm tearing, I'm ripping the masking magic so that it's not, you know, a straight line. It's got that kind of, you know how like it looks like torn paper, like aged. Well, it is torn paper, but it's got an aged look about it. So I'm going to start with my first one right here, like this. And then I'm going to take a Post-it note and I'm going to cover up this part right here. Alrighty. Okay, so now I'm going to do a little rainbow thing going down. So I have some Red Hot ink. That'll be my first color. I'm going to start with red. And I'm going to do some ink blending in this open area here. I want to make sure that that's pressed down really well. So we're going to do a little bit of red. I hope this comes out as good as hers. Okay. All right. Now, what Natasha did after that was she took a background stamp. So I'm going to use the Elegant Script background stamp, and I'm going to try her technique, which I thought was pretty cool. What she did was, I don't even, oh, my back cover for this is still in the package here. It fell off, probably because I haven't cleaned this stamp since I used it. So this is my acetate sheet for the back of this. So what she did was she took her ink pad. See, this is why we need an ink stand, and I shouldn't ever touch the ink. Let me clean that off so I don't ruin my card. I'll still be a little bit inky, but that's okay. So what she did was she took this, a background stamp, and she inked it up with the same color that she ink blended. And then she just took the stamp and she just pushed the stamp right onto it and just pressed it down like this. Now, normally I go the other way. I lay the stamp on its back, but I am inspired by Natasha, so we're going to do it her way. Oh, that's pretty cool, right? Look at that. So she went through the colors that she used, and she didn't do a rainbow. She did some very beautiful ink blending, different colors, and she went through and added the same color like I'm doing here to each of the segments, and that's what I'm going to do. All right. So a little bit the same, a little bit different. All right, that's the Elegant Script. And she did change out background stamps with each of her panels, so I'm going to do that too. So now I'm going to pull this off, and I'm going to pull this strip off. Oh, isn't that cool? All right, now I think I'm going to do the same strip, and I'm just going to turn it upside down. She left a little gap in between, like a little white line in between. So I'm going to do the same thing. And then I'm going to tear another one. So let's get another one here. So I'm just going to keep like working my way down these colors because I feel like my red can blend into my orange, and then my orange will be able to blend into my yellow, but I don't want to mix colors that are far away from each other on the color wheel. So I'll just keep using the last one from the one that I just used. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to put this one right about here. Press that down. And then I'm going to put these back, and I'm going to use my next color. And like I said, I'm going to do a rainbow until I run out of room. So my next color would be an orange. I'm going to use Tangerine Twist for my next color. Okay. And then I have to make sure that I cover this up here too, right? Because I don't want to get my orange into the area that I've already ink blended. So knowing me, I'm probably making it more complicated than Natasha, but you know, you'll have to deal with both of us tonight. Okay, there we go. So I've got my tangerine there. Now I'm going to use a different stamp. So I thought for this one I'll use Petite Flourish. Welcome everybody. I know lots of you are still coming in. It is great to see you all here. Now I'm going to do this.
Natasha is here.
Hi Natasha. Welcome. Don't look too close at what I'm doing because I'm winging it here. All right. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm laying that stamp down and then I'm putting the pressure in between the spaces. Okay. There we go. Ooh, that's pretty cool. So you can see what that one looks like. It's just a little texture. The color is nice because the color is a little bit darker because it's straight ink as opposed to that fadey ink blend. So it's kind of nice to use the same color, but if you want it to look a little bit more dramatic, you could mix colors, like do sweet mango, which is a lighter, paler orange, and then stamp the texture with the Tangerine Twist. Same thing, like you could use Coral Reef for your red and then stamp with Red Hot to just kind of bring out the stamping. But I'm not too worried about that, and here's why. Because I'm going to be stamping a silhouette image over this whole thing anyway. So let's see how this came out now, and we'll see what's going on. All right, there we go. There's our second layer. All right. Now we've got this. I did kind of stick this together, so we can use this one here. So now I'm going to do the same kind of thing. I'm going to leave a little space right here, like this. Then I'm going to tear another one for yellow. Our next release is going to be July 22nd. So mark your calendars. And it's, believe it or not, I have a Christmas kit coming. So it's going to be like Christmas in July. It's amazing. I actually worked with it a little bit today just to test a few things out. It's going to be fun. We're going to have fun. And it's going to cool us off a little bit in the hot summer here. Okay, so now I'm adding another line right here. Okay. And I'm going to put this at the top, which is the orange one that I just used. And then I'm going to do two more at the bottom here, and we're going to move to yellow. Now, the problem with yellow is when you stamp with yellow after ink blending with yellow, it's really hard to see. So, give me a sec. I think I'm going to use some prickly pear over this wild dandelion to just brighten it up just a little bit. No sneak peeks yet. Sneak peeks start the weekend before the release. But I promise you, you're gonna love it. Okay. Now let's use more of a florally design Let's use Argita's new one. We've got Argita's Tangled Garden. So let's add that in here. And we'll do that with some prickly pear, just to brighten it up a little bit. I know it's that time of the year where I think people are outside enjoying the weather, and a lot of people forget about the lives. But that's okay. There's the replay. We don't want you to stop enjoying the weather. Sometimes it's too hot though right now. Okay, there we go. So you see how that, you can see that a little better. If I had used wild dandelion, I don't think you would see it as much. And you can always do like some little swatches off to the side and kind of test to see if the ink blending and then the direct stamping is going to be bright enough. Some of this is going to be pretty pale, but, and you know how our inks always dry up a little bit softer. So you're going to see some of that happen here, and you might not be able to see this orange quite as well, but the red looks pretty good. So, but it's okay because we're going to stamp a big stamp right over it. Alrighty, so we'll pull that off. And by reusing the one from the bottom for the next one on the top, each of these like lines in between looks different from the last one. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to put this here, like that. And then I'm going to do another one. Where is Natasha? Natasha, are you in Australia? Is it winter where you are? Or are you in Europe somewhere? I know she's not here in the US, because I know that it's really hard for us to get her new products in time. It takes forever to ship. So if you see her answer, Tom, let me know. But tonight we're being inspired by Natasha Foote, and this technique is called ripped masking. Can I get 2 more colors in there, or should I spread it out a little bit more?
New Zealand.
New Zealand. I was close. I was pretty close. All right, we'll make this one a little bit bigger. And we're going to go with Lucky Clover. And then I'll use these yellow ones for up here. It's just fun to play with a new technique. And you guys know that I've done techniques like this with Masking Magic. I've done techniques like this with our stencil. We have that new stencil that has the dip in it. But I've never done it with tearing. And when I saw her video, I thought, oh, it was recommended to me, Natasha. I went on to post a live, and your video was recommended to me. And I said, ooh, that looks pretty cool. I'm going to see what she's doing. And then I was like, oh, I have to try that. And that's when I thought, let's just try it live. We'll just do it together, live. Okay, so now, I don't know what that's going to look like, but I think it's going to be okay. I'm going to go back and use the Elegance script again. You guys see I'm using my ink stand. So make sure, Brianne, can you link your ink stand? People always contact customer service about it. Now we'll see if this color is going to show up. I think it will. Yes, that looks good. I love this. This is fun. And what I like about this is it's a little different because it's using background stamps too. I've done something similar with stencils, and I think on my second card I might use stencils tonight. And Natasha used stencils on one of her cards too in her video, if you watched it, because for those of you that are just joining us, I am being inspired by Natasha Foote and her video on ripped masking. I thought it was such a cool video. I wanted to try it, and so that's what's happening here tonight. I am ripping masking paper. Ooh, I like that one. I love the way that one turned out. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to flip this over, and I guess we're going to have a bigger space there. That's okay. That's all right. I might actually... I'm wondering if I could get 2 out of here. It would be tight, wouldn't it? It'd be tight. But I might be able to do it. Does it matter if they're all the same width? Probably not. Probably not. It is a fun technique. Natasha, Tom's cousin, lived in Australia, so just a quick hop across the water from you. He was a professional basketball player there. Right, Tom?
Many years ago.
Many years ago. Yes, many years ago. All right. I'm going to try to get 2 out of this. I know it's cutting it close, so it might not look super balanced and organized, but that's okay. I want to get a little purple in here. All right. I'd better get my green up here because I'm heavy-handed and I'm a wide blender. If I had thought this out a little bit more, I probably could have measured it, but that takes away the fun. All right, so this is Turquoise Sea that I'm using, and you can use blue here instead of turquoise. I tend to go with turquoise a lot. Shocker, right? Because I love turquoise. All right, I'm going to use the Petite Flourish here. It's better than horrible. That's right. That's all it has to be. Better than horrible. Now, again, if you wanted this to be darker, you could use Tranquil Teal for this part, and it would definitely be darker, but I think it's still going to show because I did a pretty light hand. Yep. It's showing. I've got my texture. Can you see that? There we go. Natasha rarely measures. Oh, girl after my own heart. Natasha, you and I are the same. I rarely measure too. I eyeball a lot. But that's all right. Okay, there we go. Ooh, look at that. So this last one, I don't have to worry about the bottom, so that gives me a little bit more space. I think there's room. I'm going to make this pretty skinny there, but... So this is going to be Wild Lilac. I think that'll be the perfect purple for this. All right, and don't let me forget to do this part. This is pretty cool. I can't wait to take the masking magic off, you know? All right. Wild Lilac. And let's use our Gina set one more time. So I basically used 3 different backgrounds here, and I alternated them going down. Alrighty, here we go. And stamp. Now I'm trying to decide if I want to seal up the sides, but I don't think I want to. I think I want this to just look like bars going across that are open. You know how a lot of times when I'm doing a technique like this, I ink all around the perimeter so it makes a solid box? I don't think I'm going to do that this time. I'm going to leave those white spaces there, and we'll see how that looks. I think it's going to look okay. Alrighty. Let me move these out of the way, and we'll pull this last one off. Now, here's the fun part. We get to peel and reveal. Oh, this is cool. Now, you see, Natasha had her edges torn. She ripped hers. My edges, I decided to use straight with Masking Magic, and that just creates a little bit of a different look. So when you're inspired by someone, try to see if you can change up something. Make it a little bit different. Make it your own. Oh, that is so cool. This is very fun here, right? All right, so that's like cool by itself. You could just put a big greeting on that, and that would be enough to be a very, very interesting card, right? Isn't that fun? The masking is just really, really fun. But what I was going to do is I was going to take one of my stamps here, and I was thinking of the Celebrate You stamp set because it has a nice big image. And then I was going to stamp that right on to that pattern. And I definitely think I'm going to do that because Natasha did some stamping on hers. So I want to, you know, I'm going to be inspired by her. I got to do it, right? However, I do want you to take a look at that up close and see how cool that is with all the patterns in there, and how this by itself with a nice big hello greeting, you could even do it this way and put a big hello or a big love, and that would make a cool card by itself. Okay, so let's put this in the Misty, and I have my double background grip mat here. And then I'm going to use this big stamp from the Celebrate You stamp set. Now I'm going to go over the edge a little bit so the black doesn't go right to the edge. It just extends a little bit outside the edge. Like that. I think that will look good. I mean, I could try to nail it, but sometimes it's harder to get it perfectly, you know, up against the edge, and then it's too close to the edge, so it looks like you missed. If you take it way outside the edge, then it looks like you meant it. So we're going to look like we mean it. Okay. And then I'm going to do this with black Onyx ink. I might ink it twice. Okay. Give it a second inking. Oh, that's so cool. I love this. Okay, I want you guys to try this, and I want to see what you guys come up with. I want to see what colors you use. I want to see what patterns you use. I want to see what stamps you use. Now, in Natasha's video, when you watch it, you'll see that she actually did more masking. She used a line art image, and she masked over the flowers when she did all of her inking and everything. And then when she pulled the mask off of the flower, it was an open flower design, she was able to then color that design in with Copic markers. I think she used, no, she used, what'd she use? The Spectrum Noir markers, I believe. I think, but she used alcohol markers. Okay, so now we should pick a greeting. I want to use You Make the Sunshine Brighter in my next card. So maybe I'll just do a simple hello greeting here, because I just want a small greeting. And we'll just put it right here. Now what we could do is, I'm going to stamp it. And if it doesn't look good, or I feel like I can't see it enough, I can stamp it again and die cut it and just pop it over that. But sometimes it's fun with these kinds of cards to not have any parts that are popped up. What do you mean you don't have this set, Donna? You have all the sets. I think that's going to look good there, but maybe popping it up might be a little better. So this is where I want it to be, but I think it gets lost. So how about if we just stamp it and we'll just die cut it and then pop it up. I don't think it's going to get lost. You'll be able to see the difference when I do that. So let's see, where's this? There we go. We'll just stamp one real quick here. And then you can see them side by side. I'll pop it up, like pretend to pop it up, and I did remember foam squares. Even though I see nobody in the comments reminded me. I remembered the foam squares. Right before I went on tonight, I ran. I said, Tom, I'll be right back. I forgot to tell you where I was going. I was going to get foam squares. So, Celebrate You does have a coordinating die set. Here it is. And then we just have to find the hello. There it is. So I'm going to cut that out. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use my mini intracut because there was a conversation in our group about the mini intracut. And I just want to show you a couple tips here for making it easier to use. So one of the things about the mini intracut and all mini die cutting machines is they can be squirrely. And when I say squirrely, I mean because they're so light, they're just tiny, right? They're super light. When you actually go to use them, they move around a lot, you know, especially on a slippery surface. It doesn't really matter that they've got these little rubber feet. That doesn't really do too much. So you're trying to like turn the handle and it feels like it's really hard to crank because it's kind of moving all around. But if you put a grip mat, and I mean a grip mat, a photopolymer mat like this, not a sticky mat because you want it to grip to the surface, and you put the die cutting machine on that, then you're going to see how much easier the handle turns. And make sure you're using the correct plates because you get one 5mm plate and two 3mm plates. And what I've had people do is put this down like the base plate and then try to sandwich the dies between the two 3mm plates. You only need one. That's another reason why it could feel like it's too tight. You only need one of these 3mm plates. So the big 5mm plate, which is the thicker one, and then one of the 3mm plates. And I'm just going to tack this down with some masking magic here, since it's out. All right. And then your 3mm plate goes on top. And then when you start to crank it through, just put your hand on the top here, and it should go right through. So, no, this grip mat is actually available in our store. It's called Double Grip Mat. It's called Double Background Grip Mat 2. So it's the second one in our series. I know I probably should have named them something fancier, but I think it's easier just to keep track of them. Do you have one? Do you have two? Do you have three? 3 might be coming, but not next month. Okay, so now we've got the little hello here. Now let's take a look at this. See, I feel like you can see this a lot better if we pop that up, right? It just pops more because it's got that white background. Okay. Now, with that being said, I have a whole variety of greetings in here that we could also use. We could do something bigger like thinking of you, if you like something like that, which is also very pretty. Let me just cover that up. We can cover it up. Find a spot to cover it. There we go. So you can just see how different greetings make a difference. But let's use the one that comes with the set and we'll pop the hello up. So I've already cut out a black piece using Master Layouts 2. And I'm going to adhere these two panels together. But doesn't that look better? Like, I mean, this is cute, but it's hard to see on all of that color and all that busyness.
Question.
Yes.
From To Be Free at Last. She wants to know, can you use the small embossing folders in the mini intracut?
Yes, and that's why you have two 3mm plates, because small embossing folders you need the 3mm plates. With die cutting, you need a 5 and a 3 because you need it to be tighter. So I'm going to put this on a white card base because I don't want anything to distract from all of the beautiful color of the rainbow. And then I will pop this up with some foam squares. Got a new pack right here. I'm so excited. Love my foam squares. And we're going to have to cut some in half. Oh, thank you. Yes, I did get my ring fixed, and it is finally back. I finally feel like a married gal again. I was out in the wild, Tom, without a wedding ring. Trust me, nothing was happening. Didn't even get a look. Oh, my goodness. All right, we're just going to use a skinny one there, and we're going to use a skinny one here. And then I'm going to change it up a little bit more for my next card. I'm going to do something crazy. And I am going to use stencils like Natasha did on one of her cards. And then she asked everybody which one they liked better. Did they like the stencils or the stamps? So I'll ask you guys the same. You can tell me which design style you like better. Just put that over here. All right, so there's the first card, and I do feel like this card would really look nice if we put a few little embellishments on it. So let me get some glue and my pick and stick tool, and we'll just put like a little black embellishment there. I think setting it off with the black dots is really, the little black pearls, really plays off the little dots in the flowers there. Let's move that one down. And we'll just kind of put them around the greeting like that, just to enhance the greeting a bit. Give it a little something. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. So there's the first card, and I just love the little torn lines. Just those ripped lines make it so interesting and so different than just a regular ink blend. So kudos, Natasha. That is a fun technique, and I think everybody had fun kind of watching it happen there. Okay, so I'll put this one aside for now, and we'll bring it back. And my second card tonight, I'm going to do the same technique, but I'm going to do it in a little bit of a different way. So I think I'm going to use 1/4" strips for around the perimeter this time. Let me just get my step stool over here. My step stool is my like side table when I need to put things close by. All right, so I have another white panel here. This is another Master Layouts 2 panel. And I probably should clean this mat here. So let me do that. When you clean your sticky mat, make sure you only clean it with water and a tidy towel. Don't even clean it with like some other kind of towel. Make sure it's like a towel that's like a microfiber, something that's not going to have any lint at all. I tried doing it with a paper towel one time and I absolutely ruined it. So you definitely want to clean it with something that has no lint, a lint-free cloth, like the tidy towel or the stamp chamois, whatever you have. Okay, so now I'm going to put this on here, and then this time I am going to use the 1/4" Masking Magic strips. I think I had one started. Here's one that was started. Okay, so this is going to give us a little bit more surface area. because I don't know that I'm going to actually stamp on this one. I might let all of this beautiful background be the star of the show. Okay. And I save all of these little pieces and I use them for die cutting. So when I need a quick piece for die cutting, you know, when you want to hold a die down, that's what I use those for. Alrighty, I want to make sure that I definitely get all the edges covered properly. All right, that's good. Okay, so now for my first ripped masking piece, I am going to do a small one, and I'm going to come in on the side like this. Probably could have used one of those extra pieces, but that's all right. Alrighty. Now I'm going to put that right here. And I'm going to make a little triangle. I know it's kind of hard to see because it's white on white on white on white, and that makes it hard to see, but you'll get the idea once I start ink blending here. So again, I'm using some Post-it notes, and I'm going to use some sunny colors. So I'm going to use Tangerine Twist, I'm going to use Wild Dandelion, and I might alternate these two colors. I might bring another color in. Let me just see how it feels when I do this first one. All right, so we'll start with the Tangerine Twist. And we'll get a nice torn edge there in Tangerine Twist. Now I'm going to bring some stencils in. I got a bunch of them here. I grabbed Ornamental Fans, Fizzy, this is Scattered Hearts, and then Harvest Flourish. So we'll start with Harvest Flourish. Now you've seen me do a similar technique, but it didn't have those torn edges. And I think that's what really makes this cool. So since we're going to not stamp on this, I'm going to use a coordinating deeper tone. So I'm going to go with Tomato Soup. This will make the stenciling stand out a little bit more. It's not going to be quite as dark as full-on Tomato Soup because I'm going to be ink blending it, but it'll definitely make color show up more. The pattern will show up more. Okay, let's take a look at that. There we go. Now I'm going to clean this because I'm probably going to use it again. Should have cleaned it with alcohol, but that's okay. I won't be using it right away, so it'll have time to dry. So now let's pull this off. Oh, I have two. So now it's all crinkly there. I love that look. We're going to take this same orange one. We're going to do a little space in between. Now, I am going to, you are too, because you got to try it. I'm going to get a full strip here, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to make like a ray. So I'm going to start to fan things out here.
Anne wants to know, do you have any Christmas silhouette stamps?
Yes, we do. I think that one has been out of stock for a little while, but it will be coming back in closer to Christmas. And it's called Holiday Silhouettes. So if you want to put yourself on the notify me list. Why do you throw out the other side of the tear? Oh, it's right here. I have it. It's just not long enough to use. So I've been using them. I just put them off to the side here. So I'm sticking them to my table over here on the side, and then I'm using them. Okay. So now this is going to go right here, like that, And we're going to switch to Wild Dandelion. Ooh, almost forgot. Let's put my Post-it notes on. And we'll put 2 Post-it notes down here too. Alrighty. Yeah, that last one was just too tiny. Okay. So now we're bringing in that Wild Dandelion. And just like last time, I'm going to go with the deeper color. I'm going to go with Prickly Pear for my stenciling, because I definitely want to be able to see it. Okay, so let's pick a different stencil. Let's do Fizzy for this. So we'll do some little bubbles, some little dots. I have 2 stencils here and they're stuck together. Okay. So now I'm going to use the same brush. I can clean it off a little bit. And it won't even matter that much if like my next yellow is a little bit of a deeper tone. It'll actually probably enhance everything a little bit. But we're going to add some Prickly Pear in here. Okay, that should do it. Ooh, this is cool. This is very cool. Now, I'm not going to reuse this orange one because as we get down into the colors, I might reuse it because I am going to be sticking mostly with oranges and yellow. So I will keep it over here. But after a while, I mean, you're only going to get so many times with the masking magic before it's not sticking as well. And we do want the crisp edge. It's pretty cool. All right. So now we're going to block this here like this. And we're going to do another one. Now see, this is going to be too short. That's why I'm not going to use it. People are getting upset with me because I'm wasting strips. But I'm not, because I'm having fun, and it's never a waste when you're having fun. Okay. Donna, you're right. It does look like Swiss cheese. We'll have to change that up on the next yellow pass. But we're going to make something very sunshiny. Okay. So now we're going to make another ray going this way. And I'm going to use the old yellow ones for up here. And I'm going to... Do I have the orange ones still? I do. I'll use these. This is fine. So let's go to an orange color again. Now this was the orange brush that I used. So I am just going to rub some of that tomato soup off of there onto a paper towel. But it's okay if it's a little more tomato soupy and a little less tangerine-y. Okay, here we go. We're going to lay the color down first. And then we're going to find a different stencil. So we're not doing the same exact pattern each time. So let's do this one, the Ornamental Fans. Yes, that's right. It's not wasting. We want to use our products. We want to use things and use them. They're meant to be used. I want you guys to use your stamps. I want you to get your stuff out of the package and have fun and play. You'll feel very accomplished if you pull your stuff out and you make something. And you don't have to have mojo to do this. You could just make panels like this and just keep them for a time when you can use them for a card. That's what's fun about these kinds of techniques, is that they're just fun to play with. You don't have to make anything. You can just play with the technique and see how it feels and see what colors look good. And That's more like making art, right? Than actually like sitting down to make a card. I have to make a card. I have a birthday coming up. That's like, you know, you're on a mission. But this is just making art. It's just trying fun things and seeing what happens. And sometimes we need to do that. It's good for our soul to do that. Get my fingerprints all over the place. Okay. So, let's pull that off. It's okay. Oh, that's so cool. All right, so this one's going to go here. And now I'm going to come in with a, like one kind of straight across. I just want these to kind of look like sun rays. I just don't have a big yellow one. Hi, Simon Hurley. It's so nice when other YouTubers come by and say hello. Okay, so we're gonna do this. And I do have fingerprints all over this, but I'm not gonna worry about it. We'll camouflage it the best that we can with our stencil. So back to Wild Dandelion again. And I am gonna clean this brush off just a little bit because it does have some prickly pear on it. Now, if you don't want to worry about cleaning your brush, what you can do is you can use like your big blending brush with the light color and then a small blending brush with your darker color. But see, this is going to look a little, just a little darker. Plus, it's probably pulling some of the color from that orange, but that's all right too. All right, let's go back to the Harvest Flourish again. That was one I used with orange the first time, so it's okay. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. And I'm using the prickly pear again. So I just want this to have the feel of like some rays of sun. So far, so good. Pull that off. Yes. I think it feels like more like sun because of the torn edges. Okay. Now I'll flip this over and I'm going to give this a straight line here. And then I'm going to come in on an angle like this. Okay. And we're going to go back to the orange color. I can't wait to peel all the masking magic off around the perimeter and see what it looks like. That's always the most fun. Although it is kind of fun to see what happens even when you just pull the masking magic off in between the lines. Okay, so tangerine again. Yes, and this technique is courtesy of Natasha Foote. That is who I am inspired by tonight. I'm inspired by so many YouTubers, though. Simon Hurley is a huge inspiration. Thank you for being here, Simon. That's so nice. Okay. Let's do the Fizzy for this one. But today I was getting ready to post my video. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And when I logged on to YouTube, this video was suggested to me. So YouTube knows what I want to see, Natasha. All right, and I'm using tomato soup. So I'm just alternating back and forth between Wild Dandelion and Prickly Pear, and then Tangerine Twist and tomato soup. Now I would have, ooh, that's good. I can use a fresh one. I would be inking up a silhouette stamp here, but I feel like this is going to be just such a cool look that with the right greeting, I think it's going to be amazing. Okay, look how cool and fun this is. It's so cool. All right, now we're going to do this. And got this one here. We're going to do this.
Reminds me of those metal suns that you hang up on the wall with the face.
Yes, we have one of those. It does look like that. You're right. It's exactly what it looks like. All right, so we've got Harvest Flourish here, then Fizzy, then the fans, then Harvest Flourish, Fizzy. So next we're going to do the fans, but we're going to do the fans in yellow this time. So that'll be cool. Tom, that is exactly what it looks like. I wish I had a face like that to stamp right on it. That'd be so cool. And I have to thank Natasha for this technique because, you know, I'm sure that Natasha and also Simon Hurley and anybody else in the chat or anybody else who makes YouTube videos, sometimes we just don't know what to make. We want to provide good content, but we just get a little stuck, you know? I mean, I have like close to 1,400 videos on my channel. There's a lot that I've done already, you know? And you may notice that there's not really much new under the sun unless a brand new innovative product comes out. There's not a whole lot of new things. So we have to find techniques that we like or that we've done before, and then a twist on them makes a huge difference. And so you've seen me do this technique before just with straight lines, but this kind of crinkled edge just makes it feel like a brand new technique. It's something completely different that I've never tried. All right, and now we're going to do our very last one, which is going to be right here. And I don't even really have to do anything on this side. I'm just going to make that orange. And we're going to go with, what was this? We're going to go with Harvest Flourish again. Oh, that's perfect. It just wound its way back around. That was dumb luck. Works for me, though. Okay. So now I'm going in with the tangerine. And then we're going to use the tomato soup with the Harvest Flourish. And I'll just pick a different spot on the stencil rather than clean it. Just tack it down a little bit. And we'll get some faded brick in there. Not faded brick, tomato soup. Okay. So there's the final one. Oh, that's beautiful. So let me clean this up first. Get all my messes out of the way. And then I'm going to peel and reveal. And again, I'm not going to do anything around the outside. Hi, Mindy. Okay. Oh, when you pull this off and everything gets so crisp, it is so satisfying. Yes. That is satisfying right there. Isn't that fun? Like, does it need anything else, really? No, it doesn't. In fact, I don't even want to put a greeting on it, but I will. Because I want to use that sunshine greeting. But, oh, that's so pretty. Okay, so I did get a little orange right here because I wasn't very good about I'll show you real close. Can you see the orange I got on the edge there? But I think once we get it on a black panel, you won't notice that too much. And let me move this out of the way so I don't ruin anything. I don't know what's on my fingers. I'm scared to touch anything. Okay, so I'm going to put this onto the black panel. And then I do have a white card base here. Again, I just, you know, I don't want to do anything. That's so pretty. So does it feel like sun rays to you? It feels like a combination of sun rays and also a little bit like some sort of crazy animal print. And it would be cool to do an animal print one if you have any stencils like that in your collection. That would be cool. You could do, even if you did these in like animal print colors, it would just have that animal print essence. You wouldn't even need to have different stencils. You could do this whole thing with like black and white and then brown and tan, and it would just give it a whole animal kind of feel. All right, so I wanted to use just a little circle here, and I wanted to put it like right here that says, "You make the sun shine brighter." So I think that will be fun. Now, I want to look at my master layout. So let me grab something here. I took these home, but I feel like Master Layouts 3 might have a good layering set, because in the beginning I was just going to use a white circle from Master Layout 7. Just the bigger one because it fit, but I feel like I want that black outline. So I think this is going to be okay if I use that, even though the greeting might be a little small for that. But I think when I put these together, it's just gonna feel good to have that right there and having those kind of rays coming out of it. Now it's not exactly even and perfect, but that's kind of what makes it like organic and nice. It doesn't have to be perfectly even and perfectly centered to get the feel of what we're trying to accomplish. So let me find my Misty. Here it is. I'll put it under the bag. And is this going to be big enough to cut? If I stamp it in the right place, it will be. So I'm just going to leave the circle there for a second. I'll just pop the stamp right in the center just to make sure that we have room to die cut it. Okay. So I'm going to stamp this in black. Black Onyx again. I'll stamp it a couple of times. It's a pretty delicate greeting. And if you have other greetings that you want to use, there are greetings in other stamp sets that we have that kind of are sunny types of greetings. You can do whatever greeting you want. We also have a die. It's, you know how we have that Happy Birthday Trio die, and then we have the Thank You Trio. We also have a Hello Sunshine Trio. And that would be really pretty in there if you wanted to do that, but you wouldn't have it in the circle. So if you want that circle look to make it feel a little bit more like the sun, then you might want to use something different. But I still think that that would be a pretty die to use with this particular layout. Because even without a circle, that definitely feels like sun rays. So you can see the difference. I wish I had Natasha's cards here, which are absolutely gorgeous, and you can find them on her in her YouTube video. But she had the torn edges around the perimeter. I changed it up a little bit by using straight edges around my perimeters. She did hers more straight across. I did one like hers, and then I did one in this sunshiny pattern. And she stamped with an open stamp that she colored with Copics. I stamped with a silhouette stamp, and here I'm not even stamping anything on it at all. We both used one card we made with stencils and one card we made with background stamps. And I'm going to ask you the same question that she asked on her channel. Which one is your favorite? And you won't offend me because I think I have a favorite already. I don't know. Maybe. So yes, Tom, while I'm putting this together, do you have a word of the day?
I just might.
Okay. I know I'm a little out of the picture here, but I didn't think it was necessary to move everything just for you to see me cut out 2 circles.
Time for the word of the day.
All right, let's do it.
Have you noticed as we get on in years how much is involved in just going to sleep?
Oh. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. I mean, you used to just have to make sure there was like something below you, a bed to fall on, and then you were good to go. But now you got to make sure, you know, everything's lined up. You got to take the right kind of magnesium. You got to have your other pills, and the temperature has to be right in the house, and then you disappear for, I don't know where you go, but you're gone for like 45 minutes.
Hey, it takes a while. I have a skincare routine.
Right. So all those things bring us to the word of the day, which if you're going to get a good night's sleep, you have to be snorganized. Snorganized to be able to get through word of the day.
That's a good one.
Back to the dead space.
Snorganized. Oh my gosh. Yes, we all get it. We're with you. Okay. Snorganized. It does take a long time to get ready for bed anymore. It used to be like just so many layers of things to do. Okay, so I'm going to pop that right there so that feels like the sun coming in a little bit. A little bit. Not bad. And I'm going to pop it up with, I'll just use these 1/4-inch foam squares. And I promise I'll show you the other card in just a minute because I know some of you came in a little bit late. And you can see both cards, and then you can vote. You can let me know in the comments which one you like the best. Alrighty. So, you could also do this like this way. So it kind of looks like rays coming that way. But I'll do it this way. Might be a little strange, but normally I always have my greeting on the other side of the card, but I think this is going to be okay. I think I want to move it up. Yeah, like right there. I just want to catch the corner of both of these corners. Okay. And then, so do you like it there, or before I press it down, do you like it more inside like this? Which do you like, Tom? Did you like it kind of hanging over the edge?
I do.
Okay. We'll go with Tom. Then you can see more of what's going on here.
That's where I live.
On the edge? Over the edge? It's a comfortable place for you. Living on the edge. All right, we'll put a few little black doodads on here. A few little black pearls. I don't know what's on that one. One there. One there. And one down here. Just to offset it. Gold would be pretty too. But we'll just do those black ones. Should I look at gold? I feel like I should look at gold. I know. Don't leave. Stay. We just see gold. I feel like gold might be better because of the whole sunshiny thing. I feel like the black was just too much. Yeah, the gold is better.
Blingering.
Blingering. Yeah, I like the gold better. Hopefully you guys do too. I feel like that black just looked like... It looked like 3 moles, you know? Something that you might want to go to the doctor and get checked out. I don't want that on my card. Okay. There we go. That's better. A little shine with the sunshine, right? I like that so much better. Okay, so here we go. Here is our torn, ripped masking sunshine card, and that one used stencils. And then this one is the straightaway one, and that used different little background stamps. And you can see that one really got pale, that one too. But I can still see them. I'll zoom in here a little bit so you can see these a little bit more closely. And both of these use the same stamp set, and that stamp set is the Celebrate You stamp set. So we've got the greetings from Celebrate You, and then the silhouette stamp from Celebrate You too. Oh, this was so much fun. That was really fun. A big shout out to Natasha Foote. Go check out her YouTube channel a little later this evening, and you could check out her video where you can see her cards that she did like this. I linked them right in the description down below the screen on YouTube, and also in the description on our Facebook Live too. All right, now, if you liked tonight's video, and we sure hope that you have, we would love it if you'd give this video a thumbs up. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because then you will never miss another video. Hit the notification bell, hit all, and then you will never miss another video. We're going to give away a gift card tonight, so stay tuned for that. But before we do that, if you're not a member over on our Facebook group, we would love to have you over there. It's called Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. We have 49,000 members that all share their beautiful card projects using products from Gina K Designs. So we would love to have you over there. All you have to do is fill out the 3 very simple questions. Just answer those questions and then agree to our rules, and we would love to have you as a member. Then a big shout out to Brienne Loveland, who is our link ninja, always linking all of the products so you don't have to search and try to figure out what I'm using. But if you missed any of those links, you can find everything that I used in the video here on our website at ginakdesigns.com. All right, let's give away a gift card. We're going to give away a $15 gift card. It does not expire, so you can use it for our next release, or you can save it for your birthday or the holidays, whatever you want to do. But Tom is going to announce tonight's winner.
Drum roll! And the winner tonight is Dawn Brenner. Dawn Brenner!
Yay, Dawn! Congratulations, Dawn! You are our winner. All you have to do is send your name and email address to info@ginakdesigns.com, and we will send a digital gift card for $15 right to your inbox. Well, everybody, this was so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did tonight. I had so much fun making these cards. Let's take one more quick peek at them. Here they are. And I will take some high quality photos of these, and I'll post it here on YouTube on my posts tab, and also in our Facebook group and our Facebook page, so that you can see these and you can right click on them and save them to your computer for future reference. They will be there for you a little bit later this evening. All right, everybody. Well, Tom and I will be back on Thursday with another Stampin' Chat Live. My plan is to do the next Master Layouts, which is Master Layouts 16. Can you believe we're all the way up to 16? We're working through our series, and I'll be making a couple of cards, sharing a new digital download for you for an idea sheet. And remember, you don't have to have any of the master layouts to participate in these videos, because you can use whatever you have and kind of mimic the layouts the way that I'm making them. So if I'm using a window die from a master layout set and you have a different window die in your collection, you can use that and just make the cards that I make and use those same idea sheets, but just pop in things that you have. But if you have Master Layout 16, you will definitely enjoy it because you will leave with lots of inspiration after that video on Thursday. So in the meantime, everybody, thank you so much for being here. We're going to leave now a little early tonight. It's a little early for us. We've been going kind of late, so we're only 20 minutes over the hour. Stay safe, stay healthy. We love you all so very much, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.